Morning everyone, welcome back to John's Block. Today we are going to prepare a leg of lamb with some vegetables and potatoes. So it's a traditional meal, but it's going to be slow cooked, and we're going to basically baste this lamb in the most wonderful concoction of herbs, spices, some honey, some balsamic, some paprika, and then slow roast it for about 5 hours. To go with that, we're going to do a dish full of lovely, it's going to be like a little bit like a bubble and squeak, but topped with cheese, and then from all the juices that are left from the lamb, we're going to make a wonderful reduction to just get over the top with all those wonderful flavours. So we're going to end up with the leg of lamb, succulent, juicy, with a nice sauce and some really rich cheesy potatoes that will got carrots in it, leeks in it, potatoes in it, onions in it, some peppers in it, and basically roast that in the oven as well. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to start by getting the leg of lamb ready, and we're going to roast that in the oven in this particular roasting dish, and we're going to line that to start with some foil. Put one piece in the bottom like that, and then double the length piece the other way, so that will come over the top when the leg of lamb sits in there. We're going to drizzle that with a little bit of olive oil so nothing sticks to the bottom. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put like some little plinths in to stop it from burning on its bottom. So basically onions that have been peeled, halved, I'm going to quarter them and then put them into roast. They will be lovely as a side dish later on as well. And basically the lamb will sit on top of this onion, only when it doesn't go flying across the floor. The beauty of home cooking is it goes on the floor, 10-second rule applies, and you don't have to worry about putting it in the bin, because we put very little in the bin in this household. Okay, so this was seasoned last night with salt and pepper. That's just going to sit on top there like that. Those are going to go in the washing up bowl. Hot water, as always, as you've seen me prepare. And now we're going to put that to one side. I'm going to put that just over there. And we're going to get ready for the actual dressing for it. Now, this is going to be very quick, very easy. We're going to have a little bit of tomato puree. So I've got a whole one here to use up somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Tomato puree in there. A little bit of garlic puree. You can use fresh garlic if you prefer. I find for sauces and stuff like this that the puree works really well, because it's already pressed out for you. But it's your call. Nobody's going to tell you off for using your own version of an ingredient. We're going to put some honey in. Now this is honey that was given to us by one of our neighbours. It's set, so basically we're going to warm the sauce up in a little while. Basically the honey will give the sweetness to counterproduct against the paprika. As you can tell, it's very sticky and lovely. I'm going to put a couple of teaspoonfuls of that in. Yeah, that's all good. That can go in the sink. Quick dunk and wipe. That can go back in its cupboard. As always, you'll notice I'm putting away as I finish, because at the end of the day you don't want the place looking like a bomb site when you're going to finish cooking. You want to have it so that it's relatively easy and easy to go forward. Teaspoonful of Dijon mustard. Then back in the cupboard. We've also got some chutney here. You choose the variety. This is an English apple and cider one. Something that I had left over, and I just thought it was a perfect opportunity to use it up. I'm actually going to finish this whole jar off. There's not that much in there, but again, it's just a matter of getting some flavours through that lamb. add a little bit of paprika, because this will really lift the smokiness of it. And you don't need a great deal of this, you judge it for yourself. I'm going to put about half a teaspoon in. That can stay in there ready to do the mix. Put that away. We've got a little balsamic that I'm going to drizzle on last thing. And then lastly, a little bit of mint sauce. You can't have lamb without mint sauce in my view. Strange concoction, yes, when it's cooked it will be absolutely divine. A teaspoonful of mint sauce. And then to get that to bind together, we are going, which cupboard? It's going over here. We are going to add some olive oil. Good drizzle of that. And then basically all I'm going to do there is mix this together to create the most wonderful paste. Now remember I said about warming it through slightly because of the honey. Just going to see how we get on without doing that, because if we can get away without doing it, even better. And I think I'm going to, the olive oil is working that down thinness wise. And you've got a whole array of flavours there. I'm going to show this to you. Now it doesn't look particularly pleasant, but the flavours that are in that little bowl mixed in with the lamb will be absolutely amazing. So you just literally spoon this over the top. Really thick layer all over it. It'll drizzle down the side. Exactly what you want, because this is going to make your sauce at the end of doing the lamb. The good thing with the dressing, you can put in the flavours you want. You don't have to do what I've done. You don't have to follow recipes that other chefs have done. If you like certain flavours with your food, with say lamb, put them in there, because at the end of the day it's you that's got to eat it. Right, we're going to give another little drizzle of balsamic across the top. We'll just mellow it off, put some on the onions as well if you like balsamic. Absolutely love the stuff. And then we're going to add a drizzle of olive oil around the edge on top of the onions. And then the last thing to go in is some water. And this is to stop it drying out. Hold on a moment just while I get a glass to use to measure the water. Got about half a pint of water. That's a 10-ounce glass. And that's just going to go and sit right in the bottom there. Don't pour it over it, because otherwise you'll wash the sauce off. Fold these in now, and basically we want to create a nice little envelope for that to slow roast in. Slow roasting, pop it on to about 150. No need to wait for the oven to warm up on this particular occasion. I'm going to take that all the way down, and that can then go in there. And we're going to cook that for the best part of 5 hours, so that'll be ready about 5:30 this afternoon, which is perfect for going into supper for this evening for the three of us. So the next part we are going to do is prepare your veg. So a pan, a little bit of oil. You can either use olive oil, rapeseed oil, whichever you prefer. The magic ingredient, butter, to finish off with. I don't use sunflower oil or anything like that on these personally. I find it is too greasy. I know it's a strange thing to say about oil, but olive oil and rapeseed oil are better for you, so the experts tell us, and then we basically will go from there. So we want to get a bit of heat into this pan, turn on the hob to number 9. The picture you saw earlier of the veg before prep and after, I've now got them into containers. So in there I've got my potatoes, and we've got onions, leeks, carrots and an orange pepper. Potatoes are quite thinly chopped because you want them to cook 2/3 of the way quite quickly. That's all going to go into that pan with some stock. Once that's on the boil, basically I will sign off until that's cooked, and then I'll come back and do a little bit more filming with you. But for the moment, let's let that pan get some heat and we'll start cooking. Finish with that. Okay. So, yeah. So basically this lot can all go in together. All needs to be bound slightly so that we get good flavours. I always use a wooden spoon to start this process. Finish with a balsamic. Potatoes have been drained. Believe it or not, even though they take slightly longer to cook, I've got them in slightly later. I'll explain why when we get there. We want a little bit of seasoning, so the pinch me salt and pepper pot is out. Good dose of seasoning. If you prefer not to try and judge your own seasoning, a lot of people I've seen do veg like this, they will put a stock cube in there before they add the water. The stock cube does exactly the same, it seasons your vegetables for you. I prefer to add salt and pepper because then I can add whatever I want in the way of herbs, spices and get the flavour I want. Right, that's just starting to get some colour into the onions, which is what we want. The leeks, these will all soften up over a period of time. But remember, these are going to get roasted as well, so they're twice cooked all the way through. How you do this, how you get your veg on the plate to go with it, is entirely up to you. The lamb is the centre of the universe today, and we'll judge that one later on. So I'm now going to put the potatoes in there. And here is a little bit more seasoning for the potatoes, and basically mix this lot together. Turn that down from 9 to 7. You know, it's too harsh for too long. You get a nice vibrant colour of the carrots and the peppers mixing with the greens of the leeks. Now, we quite like herbs and spices in this house, so I'm actually going to put some herbs on this. I'm going to use a little bit of tarragon to give it a flavour. Tarragon will go well with the lamb as well, texture-wise. Taste wise, sorry, once they've browned a little, we add a little bit of butter, which again adds more flavour and just makes it a little bit more decadent and more rich. Just going to let that butter melt and get it tossed across everything. That is now ready to have the stock added. As I said, stock, I mean water. You can use chicken stock, you can use any type of stock you want, as long as it goes with what you're cooking. But this is going to soften up the potatoes and the carrots once it comes to the boil. Okay, that's all good. Turn that back up to 9 again just to get the boil. As soon as it starts to boil, we'll turn it down to a gentle simmer, and we'll keep testing it every 5-10 minutes to see if the potatoes are soft enough. Once they're soft enough, we can turn the heat up again, get rid of the rest of the liquid, put it into the dish to roast. And just before we roast it, put the cheese on top, and you get a nice gratin on top of it. Okay, I'm going to sign off there for the moment. We will be back later on to finish off with the vegetables and potatoes, and then take the lamb out and make the sauce a little bit later on. Okay, see you a little bit later. Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back. So left you with the veg prepping. This is now cooked down and just very little bit of juice left in it. I'll bring it over and show you. Okay, you can see that there's just some juice left in there, which is just how you want it. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn the heat up on that to number 9. Just to dry it out a little bit more, but also just to get some more colour into it after we've cooked it. The carrots and potatoes are about 3/4 cooked. Bearing in mind it's going into a dish and going to be baked in the oven for about 30-35 minutes to finish off with the cheese on top. So a very, very easy part of the prep now. One thing you do need to do before we tip the veg in there is to butter the dish to stop any chance of it sticking. So just get a bit of butter, spread it around the dish. You can use oil if you prefer on this, if you're not a big fan of butter or you think butter's unhealthy. It's entirely up to you. Okay, that's all good to go. Just quickly wipe the hands, put that away. As you can hear, that is now bubbling away, just starting to catch on the bottom, so that's the perfect time to turn it off. And basically all we're going to do is chip that into there. And that is going to be roasted while the lamb is resting and while I'm making the sauce to go with the lamb for all those lovely juices. So you can see that's done there. And there you have some lovely roasted, pan-fried winter vegetables ready to be topped with cheese. Hopefully that can be seen. Don't tip it too much, it will fall out on the floor. And then top that with your cheese. We've got a nice red Leicester here. It's from the local supermarket. We're very lucky, we've got a Co-op just around the corner. It sells pretty much most things, and even during lockdown like we are at the moment, they seem to have had pretty much a good supply of most things most of the time. So I just want to cover this with the cheese. Like so. That is now ready to go in the oven as soon as the lamb comes out. No point in putting it in before because it will just dry out too much. You'll get it straight out the oven to eat, my treat. And basically we can then carve the lamb, serve that, nice spoonful of those vegetables and potatoes mixed together with cheese on top, the lamb and the sauce that I'm going to show you how to make with the juices left over from the lamb. So that's it for the moment. We now await another 4 hours for the lamb to cook. It's been in there just over an hour at the moment, and we're basically going to give it 5.5 hours, and it will just fall off the bone and be absolutely succulent. So until then, we'll see you a little bit later. Enjoy your afternoon. Take care. Hi folks, welcome back. Believe it or not, here we are 5 hours later, or almost 5 hours later. So the lamb should now be succulent and soft, so we can take it out of the oven and have a look. Let's see what we've got. And there we go. Oven stays on because we're going to put the potato in shortly once we've confirmed this is cooked as we want it. This is going to be soft and tender. One thing I didn't say at the beginning, we said we we're going to use a leg of lamb. I've used a half leg of lamb here. You use whatever size of lamb leg you need to feed your family. There's only 3 of us. So that is beautiful and tender. Test it with a knife. That's going to rest for probably a good 45 minutes before we eat it. So I'm going to take that out and pop it on a plate. And we'll crack on with doing the other bits that need to be done, which is the veg, the sauce and everything else that goes with it. So the onions have done their job. They've stopped it sticking to the bottom. We're going to take them out and use them as a garnish. And go from there. So these are soft, succulent, and basically will be full of all those flavours that we put with the lamb to create this wonderful, wonderful dish. Okay, so that's all the onions out. And all that's left in the bottom now is juice, and that's what's going to be made into a sauce. So what I've done here is the frying pan that we cook the vegetables in. It's going to sit in there, and we're going to tip all the juices from the lamb into that to make our sauce. So nothing goes to waste, basically. dish very hot. That's that. First piece of foil over the top of that to keep the heat in. That is our lamb. Swap places with this, which now goes in the veg, topped with cheese as you saw me do earlier. Quick wipe down where we had that little spillage. Okay, so we now have all the juices in there to make a sauce. And the other thing I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of broccoli. You choose whatever veg. Broccoli is a nice fresh crisp spring green that will go very, very well with this. I'm going to sign off a little bit now while the potato finishes off, and then we'll come back up and we'll dish up. Okay, speak to you very soon. Cheers. Hi everybody, welcome back. We are at the final stages of getting this ready for you. There is our half-legged lamb, which is looking absolutely awesome. The clippy cloppy tippy tappy you can hear on the floor is my lovely little dog, who happens to like meat, so please excuse that, but we will ignore that for the moment, just so you know what it is. The juices that are on that plate I'm going to put in with the onions, and the stock from the cooking of the lamb. So we don't waste anything on this, it's basically we used everything we possibly can. The sauce, basically the onions and the stock from there all mixed together and deglazed the pan that had the vegetables in it. So that is going to be absolutely awesome. And the potatoes should be ready. If I just put those out of the oven. And they have ground up nicely, the cheese is melted, everything's bubbling away. So that's the oven off. Sauce is just simmering away there on number 5. I cooked off some broccoli. You can have whatever veg you want with it. We like our broccoli in this case. So we did a bit of that. So I'm going to plate up now, so you can see how beautiful and tender this lamb is. And basically, you just carve it how you feel like. There's no right, no wrong. It's getting food in front of your family on the table that is good and nutritious. And portion wise, we go with what's right for you. We're not huge eaters in this house, so I'm going to put 3 slices of lamb on like that. A few sprigs of broccoli like that. And then the potato is going to come over and sit there. So you can see how awesome this plates up. That's that. Get rid of the wooden spoon. 2 or 3 pieces of the nice glazed onion that were underneath the lamb to get all that flavour. And basically just put the gravy across the top, like so. And there you have one slow cooked lamb with broccoli and cheese topped mixed vegetables. You can use whatever vegetables you want. I put potato, carrots, leeks, onions and peppers in this. But you can do whatever mix you want to suit yourself and basically go from there. Okay, that is going to be absolutely delicious. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week and everything should go swimmingly for you. Any questions, send them in and we'll take them from there and we'll answer them as quickly as we can. Thanks very much for listening. Take care.